Hey guys, it's Johnny again. Right, I want to start a new thread and hopefully people will join in. If you've seen my previous video to this, there was another thread idea that I wanted to do. Some people probably won't do it, but this one I really think would be great if people could join in. It's a bit similar to Frankie's music channels thread where he chose 10 your first 10 albums that you ever owned. This is actually, it's going to try and go back further for people. And it's going to be the very first time you heard music. What were the first 5 songs that were stuck in your head that you heard from the very first time you heard music? And the ones that you pick out could be any type of music, don't matter. And the ones that really there was were played a hell of a lot around you, or the ones that stood out, that really have that standout, stand out. They stand out over everything. So I couldn't think of the word. Sorry. So when I was about, what was I born? 76. So I had to think about that. No, 76, start of 76. So when this song came out, I wasn't born. I wasn't born. So, but when it was played on the radio, it was played on the radio a lot. And I remember being in my grandparents' car. Probably I was about 3 or 4 years old. It was in the late 70s and into 1980. And we're in the car. I hear this song come on, and it had a slow start to it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is absolutely amazing!" And that song stuck with me ever since. And it is David Bowie's "Space Oddity," and I still love that song today. Just absolutely, and it just, yeah, gets me there a bit. Right, just thinking of it. Right. The next one was 1980. And yeah, this was a bad year for this artist. Very sad year for everybody that was a fan. The song that was played a lot at my grandparents' house. And I remember it being played a lot, I think by my uncle, or who I was influenced in music. Well, I got his influences of music. He wasn't into thrash or hard rock or metal or anything. But yeah, most of the stuff I own now, the influences have come from him up to a point. So, but yeah, this guy got shot in 1980, and you might have heard of him. He's a one Mr. John Lennon, and the song was Imagine. And yeah, that song I can remember. I can even remember it being played at my grand's house, and even that feeling of hearing it being played through the house still is there. It's like, oh my god, it's so raw. And that was at that time. Didn't realise it had a big poster in it. Ooh, I haven't seen that. Ooh, here you go. Here's a treat. Here's a treat, everyone. Look. Oh my god, there he is. I did not know that poster was in there. Seriously, did not know. Oh my god. Wow. I've had that album for a few years or so. About 3 or 4 years. Didn't know that was in there. Okie dokie. I think I bought that from someone's collection. Oh my god, there's something else. What is this? Maybe it's signed by John Lennon. We're there. Oh my god. There's even a postcard, John Lennon with a pig, and it's not Yoko. It might be. There you go. Oh my God, I didn't know that was in there. She's serious. If it had been signed, I would have been looking at some cash there. Ooh, go out and check your John Lennon records, please. Right, let's get back to the thread. Then a third song that was always played. It was actually played. My uncle played this song, and I know Metal Mickey's into this band. I'm not. And I think that I liked the song when I was a little kid. I would have been about 6 at the time when it came out. No, it's not Def Leppard, Pyromania, anything from Pyromania. It's about 1980. I think it's 82, 83 time. I can't remember, but that's roughly when it was. And the song was called True, and it was by the band Spandau Ballet. I didn't mind the song then, but then it got played so many times that if the song comes on now, I automatically throw things at the stereo. So yeah, no, I'm joking, I just turn it off. But yeah, so that's another song. I don't have that on single. I wouldn't have any Spandau Ballet in my house. I'd sooner burn it or, throw it in the road so a car drives over it. Right, so yeah. And then 1985 comes along, and this is 2 songs from 1985, which are very crucial, ones for me. We're not going on to 86. There's no final countdown in this. But yeah, I still listen to John Lennon, but in the Beatles as well. And I still listen to David Bowie, and I still listen to these 2 next bands, right? And I remember being in my dad's car, and so at the time, I would have been 9 years old for both of these. But this one was in my dad's car, I heard it, and this is a band that I started actually buying stuff of theirs later on, and it is Tears for Fears, and the song is Shout, and I remember that. I've mentioned that before. This is the remix version. It's got the 7-inch version on side B, which and the there's just 2 tracks on there. So yeah, that was a song that I was like, oh my God, I like that. I don't really listen to it now. I sort of skip the song Shout. I think it's been played too many times. Whereas I can listen to Everybody Wants to Rule the World over and over again, and I never bore with that. But that Shout song's just a bit too much. Right, this one I loved when I was 9 years old, and I was in junior school, and I just was like, this was just killer. Obviously I didn't have this on cassette, CD or anything like that, record or anything. So the only times I ever heard this song was the couple of times in about 2 weeks that it was played on Top of the Pops, and maybe if it came on the radio and I was sitting by the radio and I heard it. So the kids today are so lucky, they get to just go on YouTube, put on the song whenever they want it. There is on demand, play it on their phones, anything. Whereas when we were kids then in 1985, you couldn't do that unless you had parents that bought you the cassette or the record, and you could play it and play it and play it. But I didn't have any of that. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have a record player until 1980. Was it 87, 88 time? Yeah, 87. So yeah, so I didn't get this record till a lot later. This is not an original of mine, but this is one because I bought it on eBay about a year ago. Got it at a good price and just thought I've always wanted to have that on 12-inch. And the single that came out then, and it was my first favourite song ever, and it is The Sun Always Shines on TV by a-ha. And I love that song. I still love that song. This band is probably my favourite of this type of band. They really, yeah. I still listen to them today, and I still listen to all their new stuff they bring out because they're still going. So, and yeah, there we go. This is one with a big poster, but I won't show that. But yeah. So I'd like to see other people's very first 5 songs that had an impact on your life. So there you go. Cheers. Keep rocking.